Hello everyone and welcome to another Ashes of Creation video. That's right, we finally have some news to share and damn are we excited. Today you will have Raddedd and myself bringing you through the PAX East demo. For those who may not be aware, Ashes of Creation is an upcoming MMORPG from a brand new developer and is looking to be a good one. The video in the background will be from the demo they showed, and this is the same demo that all the PAX East participants were able to play. The demo starts us out in a level 3 node, also known as a village. For those of you who are new, a node requires that players quest, gather, craft, and do other activities within its area of influence to level up the node. This looks and feels like a normal MMO town to me, but graphically it looks really good. The only thing missing is obviously a lot of characters, but this was a small group demo, so we wouldn't see that. Some things I picked up though is there is no mini-map on the screen at all, and I also didn't see any quest markers over people's heads. Now this could either be on purpose on both of those things, as that's how they want the game to be designed, or it just may not be created yet because this still is a pre-alpha build. I would be totally okay with the mini-map being gone, as I think this would help immerse you in the world. What do you think, Raddedd?
Yeah, so I was going to say, this is where I want to jump in, because this is actually, when I saw them running through the dungeon, it was the first piece from this playthrough that I was like, holy shit, I see exactly what they're doing, and that makes me 10 times more excited for this game. So the mini-map wasn't there on purpose, because they were trying to show you that the player's skills, like your actual character's skills, help you find the things. Like you need to have a hunter who can track things, like where you need to go for your quest. So you could have a group of people, and if none of you have any skills to help you find what you're going to find, then you're gonna have a much harder time finding that thing. Also, you could have things like poison in the area they were showing, and then your healer has a skill which makes the poison disappear or not affect your group, or I'm not sure exactly how they phrased it, but having the healer there using a particular skill that cleric had made it so that the poison didn't affect the party and they could actually go in there without taking damage.
Yeah, it seemed to take it right away, like from the area. And they did mention if you don't have a cleric, you could still go through, just you would be taking some poison damage.
Exactly, and that like, it seems like they were just teasing a couple elements of that, but think about like an 8-man squad going into a really high-level area where you need everybody's environmental skills to get you through that map. That is really, really interesting to me.
Yeah, it's freaking really cool to me too. They're calling them, I believe, utility skills, and every class is going to have their own specific to the class. We know there's going to be 8 classes, so there'll be 8 utility skills. I don't think the subclass will have an effect on that. So they did pull up a quest dialogue and accepted a quest during this, and we'll show that on screen right now. It also popped up the quest log, the normal quest log on the right side. Remember that all this UI is still pre-alpha, so don't start bringing the pitchforks in that it looks like shit or something. As they exited the city, we noticed they were running a 5-man party in this demo. It was a mage, a tank, a cleric, a ranger, and the GM, who I think I overheard them say was a cleric also. His name was just GM, so we couldn't really see. We're watching the ranger's point of view, and we'll talk a little bit about combat right now, Raddedd. And from what I could see, it looks pretty much like we've seen in the last couple videos that Ashes has put out. However, the lead designer, his name's Jeff, he was saying, and I quote, "All sorts of skills are being used here in Ashes of Creation. Some tab targeting skills, there's some skill shot skills, and there's some template skills. Our goal is to have players be able to decide how they want to play, and if they want to have a more action-oriented experience, they can kind of spec into that," end quote.
Right, and I think that has to do with like your subclasses as well, because like you have skills that can affect your upper level skills, and obviously how you interact with those skills would be part of that. So I'm sure that there's a ton of nuance, And I did actually watch the Q&A too, and I know that we're going to do a video about that, but the CEO was saying how much he wanted the variability in your classes to be the largest of any game that you've ever seen. So it would make sense that if that's part of your goal, that you would have the maximum amounts of combinations that you could allow for. So tab targeting, clicking, etc., in your skills.
Yeah, I think obviously combat's going to be one of the major either things that draw people to the game or something that makes people not want to play, since it's something you're going to do a lot of. And I still think it looks okay. It's not BDO level of action combat for sure, but it's it's an MMO sort of combat. That we did see some little action skills with him jumping around. I think there's a couple of shots of him shooting a flame arrow straight out in like a line. I think that's kind of like a telegraph, like ground oriented skill. So I'm really hopeful that this combat's going to be good. And again, remember, this is all pre-alpha that we're looking at, so things can change a lot.
Yeah, and it did look good. Something that I was looking for when I was watching it, because this is something I'm worried about, because it isn't to the level of like BDO type of like physics, but it is very in depth in terms of your class builds. More in depth than any MMO that's out there, and it will be really important when you have that amount of variability to have the classes working together very well, because if you have all of those different classes, it'll be really hard to balance the game. So that's why I was looking for that. And I did see that your healers needed to be healing. You know, your challenges were hard enough that you needed the healers to be healing. You need your DPS to be DPSing. You need your tanks to be tanking. The one thing, again, that we didn't see is the Bard, your support classes. They teased it in their descriptions of their combat, but we didn't get to see it, and that's still that one wild card in balance that I want to see from their alphas.
Yeah, I think the Summoner is also that class where we're wondering what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And they did, during the Q&A, they will talk a little bit about player balancing, and we'll be releasing a video on that soon, like Raddedd said. So the next part I just want to highlight real quick is this broken down caravan you'll see on screen right now. In this game, caravans are the main drivers of the economy as they transport goods between nodes. So there's no auction house that connects everything. You have to literally be in the node if you want to buy things from that node, or it has to get shipped there. So that means that people will have to transport goods through the caravans, and you can actually loot them as a player. You can take over that caravan and steal the goods. So something we forgot to mention on the combat that I have as a note here, Raddedd, is he's able to swap to any weapon he wants, which is another variable into your class builds, as you were talking about. He was a ranger, which you would think is a bow and arrow type class, and I think he starts off with a bow and arrow. He switches over to look like an axe, a one-handed axe, and a shield. He switched to some sort of book to shoot magic stuff. So I think that the ability to choose any weapon that kind of fits how you want to play, I think also makes this really cool.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they were obviously just trying to tease that by making a big deal out of it. I actually have two more notes on the combat. We saw traps and tripwires, and that was only from one of the classes. So when we start to see, like you said, like the Summoner or the Bard, where you have like other types of combat mechanics that we're not seeing in the Trinity system, that becomes really interesting. The second note that I had was in the second boss fight versus the Brood Queen, one of the ads was flipped over on its back. I'm not sure if you caught that. So you have these kind of sub-status effects that your characters can do on enemies that can allow you to like trip something up and then focus it down really quick if it's something that you need to trip up, like a party wipe thing. So like there's a ton of variability in things that they didn't even mention, just that we caught from the animations of the video.
Yeah, definitely. We'll give them here just a minute or so to watch this second boss fight.
I got a trap down. material coming out of his aft abdomen.
Did you say aft abdomen?
Oh, we got some ads.
Yeah, these ads are gonna try to heal her. So we gotta take care of them.
No. No, it's healing.
Oh, I need some love. I need some love. I'm down.
Nice. Oh my god.
Alright, I think we got this. Heal that ranger. Only if the ranger drops a trap. And she is almost done with.
Alright, so how was that, guys? The other thing I noticed in combat is there was no AoE telegraphs from the bosses like you would normally see in an MMO. When he was going to do a move, you actually have to watch him like swing his skill up or whatever, kind of like a Dark Souls-esque boss. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the Souls games are some of my favorite games of all time, and if they can pull that into an MMO, oh my god, I'm going to be hooked.
So both these bosses were actually in one of the dungeons. They showed this dungeon off, I don't know, a couple months ago. I think pretty sure we did a video on that. That brings us towards the end here, Raddedd. We're going to see them go through the teleport after the last boss. They come back in the town and turn in the quest. It finishes off this demo video. So I kind of want to throw the impressions here at the end of the video, unless you had anything else to go over.
I mean, I had some small notes here. Group quests. I mean, if you have the idea of a group quest, that obviously opens up a whole bunch of doors, because it's not just a solo player quest. Now everybody in your party is part of a story, instead of everybody taking the same solo quest and being part of the story. So if you like RPing, which I know a lot of people do who play these games, there's going to be a deeper level of immersion because of that.
I'm going to touch more on that in our Q&A for sure, because there is a lot of depth into the feeling part of the game, or that you're doing something to the game, because they talk about that with the casual versus hardcore and stuff.
Yeah, they really wanted to bring those players together, even like old players, or old players who have been playing a longer time versus new players. They're really doing a lot, even from a story and design standpoint, to bring those players together, and that's so important to the success and cohesion of an MMO.
So what I'm feeling after this PAX demo, and I've been following this game for a while, is I'm still very impressed. I still have a lot of hope for this game. I feel it's going to be really good. I can see that they're starting to polish the UI a little bit. It's starting to look better from the early days of just pretty much text on the screen. I still need to remember this is early in the development cycle, so we're going to see a lot of changes, and they're very, very in touch with the community and looking to make sure that they make the game the community wants. However, there is a vision that Steven's putting in. That's the lead guy in this, the CEO, and he's not going to waver from that vision. So he's very much going to make the game he wants to make, but they seem to be, allowing minor changes like combat. They've changed a little bit since the beginning. I personally think this game is trying to achieve great things. It's definitely going to put that monkey wrench in the wheel of MMOs that just keep coming out doing the same shit. And I can't wait to get my hands on this game.
I'm going to give a little bit of the business end too. And this is from the Q&A again, but I can't avoid it, because I've seen a lot of people saying, especially right now on YouTube, that you know, they don't think this game is going to come out. From a business standpoint, I think they've received over $30 million in funding right now. Their CEO is willing to fund from his own pocket, clearly, has a great vision, and also they have a small team from what I've seen. I think they have 11 people, maybe some contractors beyond that. And from a business standpoint, I mean, I work for a company right now who has a larger team and runs off of $3 to $5 million a year. And that's without any additional funding. So these guys are set, they have a vision, they're super productive, and have a ton of experience from the field. So I have no doubt that they're going to be successful in making this game, and I'm definitely looking forward to what they're going to be pushing out in the coming weeks and months.
Well, it's like I said, they've clearly been making changes to these demo builds we're seeing, and they're putting out these dungeons and these little, they're showing us so much of the progress. If this was any other MMO company, we wouldn't even know this game exists until beta. Thanks everyone for watching our PAX East demo review. Make sure you hit that like button to let us know you like this kind of content, and also hit that subscribe button, as we are dropping a PAX East Q&A discussion video later. I won't give you a date because I don't know where it's going to fit in our schedule. It's going to be soon though. We're going to definitely keep up to date on everything dealing with Ashes of Creation. Also, just to tease our next Q&A video a little bit, we will be just dropping the Alpha 1 date in there. So look out for that soon. See you later. Get good, scrubs.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Hey there, this is novapunkX. If for some reason you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button, as it really helps the channel. We put out multiple new videos each and every week for your viewing pleasure. Also, feel free to throw some comments below and let us know how we did. Thanks for watching, and get good, scrubs.